get voted out if you were Conservative. I think they even managed to get through the last election, didn't they, keeping that seat. Then that kind of like place, you know, they could do what they want, never turn up, do inappropriate behaviours, take money off their supports, and they still got away with it. They're still there, they still carried on, etc. You know, more recently, obviously, we switched, we came into Preston, and again, obviously, I found myself in the ward with a very strong Labour vote, which although was hit away at, again, it was very unlikely there was ever going to be any change. So try convincing people in my area of the importance of the vote if you don't support one of those two parties. And I think we have to accept the fact when we talk about reform and the 4 million, they are now being aided by that because they are able to put forward to the people that it's been a stitch up in this system, hasn't it? They've had all these votes and yet they only got 4 seats, whatever it was, 5 seats. And they were able to use that to kind of say that kind of they're being kept out and kind of they're able to kind of, you know, build their support, and their support are sort of feeling as though they've been hard done by. But in terms of young people voting, I think it's worth us all knowing in this room, isn't it, that times have changed. I've heard a few people talk about educating children today. I can assure you, as a school, we spend a lot of time trying to educate people about politics, and being political myself, an awful lot of time. However, I can tell you now, they don't get their news anymore from the BBC or ITV. They don't listen necessarily to their teacher anymore and take guidance and advice in what we might offer. They get the news from a wide range of different media outlets, a lot of it social media, a lot of it from different places. And as we no longer have kind of like, you know, the 2-channel approach and a handful of newspapers who are able to put forward a 2-party argument, you know, kids are getting their resources from various YouTube, international papers, influencers and bloggers and whatever else. The reality is the day of the 2-party system has gone. They are getting much broader and wider opinions. They're being told much larger and a wider breadth of ideas. And therefore, we're never really now going to go back, I think, to the system we had before. But it is a disgrace how few young people vote. But one of the big arguments that you will see if you go on TikTok or you go on to Instagram or you watch any of the feeds these people watch, is there is a message being given to young people all the time that you're being kept out, that your view doesn't count, that you're not given an opinion. And the reason why, of course, is they know if they were in the Fylde ward for Conservative or in the Preston ward for Labour more recently, they could have voted for whoever, unless it was one of those 2 parties, it wasn't going to count. And I think it really is an important message, isn't it, to say that whoever you vote for, it will carry some weight. Whoever your opinion is, you will get something. I suspect young people will be radical, as they often are. And as they get older, they will moderate and become more sensible, as they often should as well, fingers crossed. But like, I do think that it would aid all the democracy, and it would massively get that vote up if we did have a system of PR. And I think, again, making that voice, giving that shout, putting it out there is a really important thing to do.
Thank you, Councillor Ward. Councillor Rawlinson, you've just indicated you wish to speak.
You're all entirely ignoring the issue of why we have such apathy, which is the wealthy who own the media. They decide who wins elections. They now own the social media as well, of course. It's not newspapers anymore, is it? It's just you're all entirely ignored that issue. And until we solve that problem, it doesn't matter what voting system we have.
Thank you, Councillor Rawlinson. I don't see anybody else wishing to speak, so I bring Councillor Jewell back now, who reserved the right to speak as the seconder.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. For too long, first past the post has distorted democracy, with 2024 as the most unrepresentative in terms of votes cast and seats subsequently taken. And yet it was the most diverse, with 4 parties getting over 10% of the vote across the UK. The last time, I think there was a little question in your notice of motion, and indeed the last time that any political party across the board overall got more than 50% was the Conservatives in 1930, in 1931, with 60.8% of the vote. It seems incredible today, doesn't it? There was a time when Labour and the Conservatives also got almost the 50% in the 50s, but you're talking of a different era, of a 2-party system. And now we have a lot more parties vying for power. So when we get beyond that 2-party system, PR, first past the post isn't the answer, PR clearly is. It was only this week that the National Centre for Social Research published the findings of the British Social Attitude Survey, showing that 60, a whopping 60% of the British public support proportional representation. The same data identified a clear majority, 55% of Labour supporters supporting PR. And indeed, the Labour Party backed overwhelmingly in favour of PR at their conference in 2022. The same survey even identified a small majority of Conservative supporters, a whopping jump over the past year from 24% to 52%. And the Liberal Democrats have long been consistent in their advocacy of this policy. But this isn't just about, you know, what's popular and whatever. This is about fairness and engaging the electorate again. And I note some of the comments of Councillor Thompson, which I do actually agree with some of what he said. It is upon us to engage with the public. But I think a proportional system would restore that trust in our representative democracy and indeed in politics. And I urge members to support this motion.
Thank you, Councillor Jewell. I'll bring back Councillor Peat now because it was your motion that you moved. Thank you.
Thank you to everybody who's spoken, particularly those in support. Thank you to the Labour group for allowing a free vote on this. I don't think it's a party political issue in that sense. I must correct my colleague, Councillor Jewell, on his answer to the question. The question said single party government, and the government that was elected in 1931 was a GNU, Government of National Unity, and it was campaigned as a government of national unity. Right. I hope other people have tried to do the homework. Remember, I am a former teacher stroke lecturer. The actual answer, believe it or not, is 1880. The last time a single party government was elected with more than 50% of the votes cast. By the way, it was Liberal.
Hey.
Councillor Wise, you want a constituency link? In multi-member wards, divisions, constituencies, STV would still give you that constituency link, and STV is the preferred PR voting system of the Liberal Democrats. I think that's all questions answered as such. It's actually difficult to analyse local election results because there are too many wards, too many of this, too many of that, too many of it. It's much easier to analyse the results of general elections. And I've analysed the results of every general election from 1832, which I can find data. I'm a data nerd, all right. But taking the ones from 1945, we've had 22 general elections from 1945, 10 won by Labour, 12 by Conservatives. A total of 11,375 days of Labour government and 17,836 days of Conservative government. If the seats have been allocated in Parliament in proportion to the votes cast, it would drastically change that. For all but 2 of those elections, a Labour-led progressive rainbow government would have been the most likely outcome. Only 1955 and 2015 would it not be likely. In 1955, it would be a Conservative-led minority government, which will probably have fallen very soon. In 2015, it would have resulted in a Conservative-led coalition government with a small working majority. So there's the carrot for you. And I would be more than happy with that. And just to give you the percentages, right? Well, I'll do it as days. Yeah, that's all right. I've got time. I've got time. Under a proportional representation system since 1945, it would have been 26,852 days of Labour-led governments and only 2,359 days of Conservative-led governments. And that's from the day of the 1945 election until today. I will do. If anybody else is interested, I'm quite happy to show you my data. Yes, I'm going to finish off. I am not a PR supporter because I am a member of the Liberal Democrats. I joined the Liberal Party in the 70s because I am a PR supporter. And I found until recently no reason to change those thoughts. Oh, there is one thing I should have said. Councillor Whittam, Reform are in favour of PR. They were. They might have changed them. They might have changed their mind now. Yes. Thank you for everybody. Thank you for the support that people have given this motion. Last words. As far as I'm concerned, there is no viable democratic or logical argument against PR and in favour of FPTP. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Peake. Right, we're now going to go to the vote. All those in favour, please show. Thank you for all those in favour. All those against, please. And any abstentions? You got that? Thank you. Yep, that notice the motion is carried. Thank you very much, Councillor Peake. Right, item 17 is the overview and scrutiny annual report for 24-25. It's for noting only, but Councillor Potter, do you want to speak on this report?
Just to say very briefly, Madam Mayor, thank you all committee members, all guests, all cabinet members and officers for their time during the year. We had some really brilliant discussions and scrutiny of some of the main functions of this council. Obviously, we look forward to the next municipal year and going through some of the priorities of this Labour administration. So thanks again. Any questions, please fire away.
Thank you. It's for noting only, but can you just show in favour of noting? Apparently it says on here. Thank you. Yeah, you're all happy, right? Thank you. I'm sticking to the script. Trying to. Item 18 is the update on the action plan to the climate jury's recommendation. Councillor Sarwar, this is your first report as a new cabinet member. And do you wish to speak on this item, which is for noting only? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll be quick. Yeah, so it's a report for noting only. It provides an update on where we're progressing with the 24 recommendations made by the Preston People's Climate Jury. These recommendations came directly from local people. They covered topics on housing, transport, food and community. I'm proud to say that every action is either completed or underway, which shows that this council has taken the jury's work quite seriously and acted on it. I do want to give a few thanks. That's to the jury who took part and to everyone who's helped deliver this sort of piece of work. Also want to thank the officers who worked hard to bring this report forward as well. The other thing I want to mention is a brief call out to the wonderful lady sat behind me, Carol Henshaw. Carol I want to take a moment to recognise all your hard work. You played a key role in shaping this work from the very beginning. You led on this portfolio for a number of years with real passion, with real commitment, and much of what we're delivering today is thanks to a strong foundation that you've laid, so thank you. I'll be meeting with the jury next month. I will be sending invites to all members. Feel free to come. I'll try to make sure there's food, but I won't bank on it, but that's all I have to say on this, so thank you.
Need a second. It's for noting only, but we can't ask any questions on this bit usually. But anyway, Councillor Potter, do you want to? It says here, no questions can be asked. They should have been asked under 5 of the agenda, as it's an information item. I'm sorry. Look, I don't make the rules, do I? But well, it's not a vote. It's just a case of show. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm not meant to take any questions. Did you want to make? Do you want to say something, Councillor Potter? Go on.
Sorry, Madam Mayor. It's going to be very, very quick. I was just going to thank Sully for actually contacting all the groups and saying and getting involved. One thing that I would ask him to look into when he meets the climate jury is obviously right now we're experiencing a drought in Lancashire, and actually dealing with water resilience within our things is actually an important thing that actually isn't in the report. So, but I really appreciate Sully reaching out to us, and I look forward to working with him going forward.
Thank you. That was a very nice thing to say, so I'm glad I let you in. Councillor Brown, do you want to say something as well?
Just really briefly, I'm really conscious of the time of day, just brilliant work within this report. And obviously, Sully's taking this forward, and it's more essential now than ever with the climate crisis, but also with an administration, the county council, who are not going to be supportive of the environmental catastrophes that we're going to face soon. But I obviously want to really thank Carol, because I was with her when she went through this process. She was really dedicated to it, and I forgot to thank her at the last full council, which I felt at the annual council, which I felt guilty about ever since. So I just want to put on record the amazing work she did do within that role, obviously. And obviously, somebody's taken it forward this municipal year, and both of them have done amazing work for tackling the climate emergency. Madam Mayor, sorry, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. So this is for noting only. I need a show of hands to say that we're noting this report. Thank you. Item 19 is the leaders' report. Councillor Brown, do you wish to speak on this report, which is also for noting only? Thank you. So can we just now note this report by a show of hands, please? Thank you. Brilliant. Thank you. That's noted. Item 20 is special urgency decisions. However, they're none to report at this meeting. And item 21 is the date of next meeting, which will be on Thursday, the 21st of August, 2025 at 2 p.m. in the Town Hall. So we now need to consider passing the following resolution: that the public be excluded from this meeting during consideration of the following item of business on the grounds that there is likely to be disclosure of exempt information which is described in the paragraphs of Schedule 12A to Local Government Act 1972, which is specified against the heading to the item, and that in all the circumstances of the case, the public interest in maintaining the exception outweighs the public interest in disclosing it. Are you all happy to agree the exemption and move to Part B? Agreed.